Hi guys, welcome to Travel with Austin. I'm Austin. Today we're going to be doing a quick tour of the Poasttown Elementary School. Now this is an old elementary school that was opened in 1937. It actually remained open until 2000, which is kind of insane, just given how old it is. And now it is open for paranormal investigations. And I actually just stayed here overnight and attempted to do one. Right now, of course, we are walking through some classrooms because this is a school. Now, this one is labeled as the bad teacher's room, although I'm not exactly sure what that means. So, we're going to just peer through many of the classrooms because a lot of them are the same as they are just classrooms. Now, this one is a little bit different. The owner took out this wall here and built a doorway here. And over here we do have a bathroom. Now back out into the main hallway. We have what is known as the blue locker room, because all the lockers are blue. Pretty simple. We also have this toy right here. It's for like the spirits to play with, but I actually had this exact toy growing up, so that's pretty neat. I also do like how all of the lockers are in the back of the room. I mean, it kind of makes sense as elementary kids don't have to move between rooms, but I still think it's neat. Here we have an old janitor's closet, and it actually has a window with this unique metal thing on it, and I believe it's the only window in the building that has this. So now we're going to walk up the stairs. And again, another classroom. Another classroom here. Now this one actually has some water leakage right now because they're having some issues with the roof, but if we go up to the window, you can see out there, there's actually playground equipment left, which is pretty cool. Now we're going to walk into this room. Now apparently this used to be a special reading room at one point. And it was probably its last use before the school closed down. But it was also the nurse's station before that. And you can actually see that here on the wall. Carol Henry was the nurse. Now, I should have warned you guys, you're about to meet Stewie. Do not be afraid of Stewie. He is harmless. This right here is Stewie. He kind of stands right at the perfect spot to scare you every time you walk down the hallway. So I have to constantly remind myself he's there. Now, we have another classroom right here. Interestingly enough, this one does not have any lockers in it. But it does have some hooks in those back closets. And that closet on the right actually has some hooks to like hang coats or something. Now this is the special needs room. Currently it is actually filled with a ton of toys for you, the spirits to play with. We got some dominoes, which I tried really hard to get them to knock down last night, and they of course didn't. We have a little train on the tracks that sadly doesn't have any batteries. And there's just toys everywhere in here. Now I do believe in one of the videos I watched, people smelled cigar smoke coming from this chair, which is kind of interesting. But let's continue on. So over here we just have some bathrooms. We're not going to look at them because they're just bathrooms. So This right here used to be part of the old library, and now it is the t-shirt room where the owner hangs t-shirts that he gets from people who have been here. And then going over to the next room, I believe this used to be part of the old music room, he said, and now it is the doll room. Apparently a lot of people bring in dolls as, like a gift to the spirits. Some people bring toys, and there's actually one room, and I forgot to show it, but they bring in money for them. So let's just turn my flashlight on so you guys can get a better look at all the dolls in here. And the doll room actually moves over into the secondary room too. And just tons and tons of dolls, including this one right there, which I absolutely hate because it doesn't really look like a doll. It looks like it is a small child that at any second could move. Now we also have this little toy on the slide, for the spirits of the children to play with. I was kind of hoping that this would fall off last night, but it never did. Ooh. Okay, so let's keep going. So we're gonna have to backtrack a second because my favorite room is partway down this hallway. And here it is. Let me find the light switch. So this is the library overflow room, which basically sounds like it would be where they put all of their extra books and stuff. It's filled with books. There's some board games. There's actually Sorry set up. There's an I Spy game in here, which I didn't notice last night. And actually one of the interesting things to me, we also got some VHS, DVDs. We also have some home videos, which I wish there was a VHS player here because I wanted to see what those are. But we have this Ohio Edition Electric Series Intermediate Geography, which is what my major is. And if you look at it, it's from 1961. So that is really interesting. So now we're going to continue on back past the doll room. And here we have a little stuffed coyote. He looks, he's stuffed, so he is real, but every so often when I see him, I think, is there a dog in here? We have another classroom in here. Now, this was an old classroom, but the owner's grandsons wanted to turn it into their own personal gym area. So it's now the punching bag room. You can see we got 3 different punching bags. We also got one of these. When I was a kid, we actually had one of these, and we were always told to call him Bob. Absolutely terrifying. I did not come up in this room at all last night, and I left the light on because I definitely mistaken him for a person. Now this dark room right here, see, turn on the light. This was apparently like a school store. It's where you could buy pencils and paper and stuff like that. Pretty small room. Now it's kind of interesting to me. There is a light switch in the very back of this shelving unit. And I don't know what it's supposed to do because that's the very end of the room, but interesting nonetheless. Now, this staircase right here is rumored to be an area where a girl named Sarah was getting bullied, and basically the bullies pushed her over, and she fell all the way to the very bottom. She reportedly died, but she did not die here. She died back at home or in the hospital. But it is still considered an urban legend because they can't get the paperwork on it yet. So we're going to walk down these stairs. And we're gonna go straight to the basement and save this hallway for last. So, let me get my flashlight out. Perfect. Now, if you come down here and you go this way, you are going to get to the gymnasium. Now, the gym is really cool because it's half in the basement and half above ground because they made it 2 stories tall. So even though we're in the basement, we actually still are getting some natural light in right now. Now, we do have the old stage here, and can actually walk up on it. So now we are up on the stage. As you can see, we still have the basketball hoops with their nets in them. Here is the little call box in the gymnasium. All of the classrooms have these. Now, I can't remember when they said, but sometime, I believe back in the 80s, this Indian mascot was painted by one of the custodians that worked here, and apparently the owner has never touched it up, and he's owned the place since at least 2004. So that's pretty good that it hasn't needed touched up, and it still looks pretty new. Of course, though, the content of it could very well be questioned, but that's not the reason we're here today. So now we're going to walk this way, and it's going to get darker, but we're entering into the old cafeteria area. So basically this area right here would be where all the cooking equipment would have been. You can actually see that pole that's sticking out of the ground. There's actually a box outlet there, and there's one over there by that center block. Now next to that we have the dry goods room. So when the school first opened, this is where they would store dry goods. It did have another use later on, but I cannot remember it. It is also the darkest room in here because it has no lighting from the outside at all. Now, this room over here is apparently where you would come in with your tray, and the lunch ladies would fill it up for you. And then now we have the cafeteria itself. There is some furniture here brought in from outside that wasn't originally here. I believe this is old Taco Bell furniture because, it looks like old Taco Bell furniture. Now here is the rest of the cafeteria. I imagine this is where the students would have actually sat. But of course now there's nothing here. We still do have some wall paintings though. We actually have SpongeBob over here on this wall. Just a random wall that says, "Look what we did," which I imagine they used to put photos on maybe to show what was going on in school. And then we have a rocket ship blasting off Patrick. So that's pretty neat. I gotta admit, this area right here is probably one of my favorites just because of the old furniture. I swear this is old Taco Bell furniture because it reminds me of the Taco Bell back in my hometown. Now, we have a storage closet right here. This right here is just kind of like an old mechanical room. There's not really anything in here, so we're not going to go in there. Now there is also a boiler room here, but we're also not going to go to it because there's nothing really in it other than the boilers. So here is the front entrance. You can see there's a little setup area for where they'd welcome people in a non-COVID place. Have a picture of the elementary school and their slogan, which is, "When you leave, you believe." Now, this area over here takes you into the main hallway. It's where the bathrooms are. It's where I slept last night. My sleeping quarters were in there. And also the owners live in a section that's sectioned off over there. Now this over here is known as the principal's hallway. So this would have been a teacher's bathroom, but now he uses it for storage. And I'm pretty sure those are McDonald's coffee pots. So one of the reasons that this school was eventually shut down is because this hallway is not wide enough for two people to walk through. It is, I believe, something like 48 inches across or something like that. Basically, you would have to press yourself against the wall if someone else was coming down. Now this room, I believe used to be the teacher's lounge, but the owner actually renovated it, so if he has any family in town, they can come stay in here. It's a pretty nice room. Now as we continue down, there is actually a classroom in this hallway, despite it being so thin. So here it is. It's pretty empty right now. The lockers in the back here do have some painting on them. And there's a bunch of pictures in here that are meant to be creepy. There's definitely a lot of things set up in here to help increase the creep factor. So yeah, this is the only classroom in this hallway. And I mean, just so you can see, like I have this door open and now no one could get down this hallway. So it would definitely be a big issue. Now, I do believe that this is the janitor's office. Yep, right there. So, really not much in here. Just storage for some decorations and stuff. Nothing big. And then we're coming across another one of my favorite rooms. And this is where we'll probably end it. This is the old principal's office. So it's kind of interesting. You got the principal's desk and everything right here. There's a chair for people to sit in. American flags everywhere, pictures of the presidents. But the principal also had a side office. And in here there's another desk. There's kind of like a little closet area. And the most insane carpet I have ever seen inside of a school. So that's very interesting. But if we go back here into the main principal's office, we actually still have the machine here that would have called different classrooms. So the little antique box I pointed out in the gym, each one of the classrooms had one of those. And using this, you could call them. You could call them individually, or you could call all of them. And you may notice it's based on switches. So that is very interesting. This is a really cool old machine, and somehow I did not notice it the first time I came in here. And you have to think, up to 2000, the school was still in use. So they still use this machine until the school closed down, which is absolutely insane. We also have a doll that got broken. So it only has half a face, and the rest of it's kind of just down here chilling. So yeah, that's really all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this tour of the Poasttown Elementary School. Now, I've got a few more videos coming here. If you want to see what happened when I attempted to ghost hunt, I'll be having that come out soon. I'm also going to be reviewing the sleeping quarters that I slept in, which is the old art room, and a few other videos. So if you guys want to see those, please give this a thumbs up. Please subscribe. I make new videos every Wednesday, and thank you guys for watching.